of the counter here. How are you, everybody? Welcome on this Monday. I'm so happy to be with all of you just tuning in. I'm so grateful because my apron is reading in the right direction as Facebook effects are back. Yay for that one. I've been drawing on about that for several weeks, but they finally refixed it. So I'm so happy to see that. I also want to thank all of you. We had over 108 people in just 2 days who literally went to the Nanny Bubby YouTube channel and subscribed to the page, and we were able to get our own URL. So it is now, hey Frank, always the first one here. I love that about you. We are now, our URL is youtube.com/nannybubby, and you'll go right to the channel. And the goal of this channel is to be able to upload all 255, 260 now shows from our Facebook throughout the year, the last year, from October 22nd until now. And we're gonna put them all there. They are much more searchable in the YouTube format than they are in the Facebook format. So I myself realized that we needed to do this when I was looking for something on Facebook, and it took forever and ever and ever and ever and ever to find it. It's just too much for anybody to want to do. So we realized that we could do something by moving everything over to Facebook. Hey, Lene, and are moving it all over to YouTube. So it will remain on Facebook, but there's a backup to YouTube that I can refer everybody to. And also, let's say you asked me, where is the show that you did on what comes to mind is the chocolate strawberries that Roseanne did and taught us to do. And if you wanted that, I mean, to be able to find that would be so difficult. Hi there, Susie. But to go just directly to YouTube, it's so easy just to search and put in the title, and it would pop right up, and I could send the links out to whomever is looking for whatever it is that they're looking for. So that's that. I also want to tell you about the Winners Retreat. Those winners came on Saturday. We did a Zoom, and I am telling you, we shared amazing information with each other. We talked about all different kinds of traditions that we all have for Thanksgiving. We shared some recipes. I made 2 recipes. I made one of my own, and I made, everybody submitted a recipe, and when I looked at all the recipes, the one that I chose was a sweet potato pie that actually was made from yams from a can and crushed pineapple, but it reminded me of my childhood when my grandparents, it was, I think, considered prosperous to be able to buy not fresh fruits and vegetables, but to buy them in the can in the grocery store. And so I think a lot of recipes from the 50s and 60s actually include those types of canned goods and marshmallows and cinnamon and sugar, and it just spoke to my soul for whatever reason. And so I made that, and it was absolutely delicious. It was absolutely fantastic. I did forget to put the nuts in it, in case Arlene is watching, and I will tell you the crunch was, I got crunch from the graham cracker crust, but I wanted more crunch. I wanted some pecans in there. So I will maybe post that recipe from Arlene with her permission, and you can try it out yourself. It was really, really great. I also made Piero's cream corn. Hey there, Joanne, nice to see you. I also made cream corn from Piero's, my dad's famous restaurant, and so we had a wonderful time. And I will tell you one thing you all need to know right now is that Thanksgiving is next week. I can't believe it. And so the first thing that you need to do right now this week is make a menu. Decide what you want on that menu. Hey Lindsay, how are you? So glad. Speaking of Lindsay, who just said hi, she is going to be here tomorrow, and she's going to be cooking with Nanny Bubby. We're making a Nanny Bubby dinner meal just for Lindsay, and she's going to be here with me in the kitchen. We'll be talking and laughing, and she'll be helping with whatever she can. So we hope to get Lindsay in the kitchen and much more comfortable with it, because she does have a daughter, and she needs to be very, very good with that daughter and teaching her good nutrition and good health. So with that being said, I found this fabulous recipe, and I just want to show you, this really excites me. So I planted lettuces, kale, butter lettuce, and romaine in about late September, and they just in the last 2 weeks have completely taken off. And so I wanted to, this recipe calls for romaine, and so I went out and got my romaine, and this 100% of all this salad, look at how much there is, actually came right out of my own garden. And I'm really excited about that. This is our first bite of it. I'm just gonna pour out this water and give it one more spin before we begin. I soaked this in my very large, in this very large bowl. You can see how much larger it is than this. It's just huge. And I took all the lettuce and I soaked it in this, and then I put it into the dish salad spinner, and I gave it a spin. So, and you know, I talk very frequently about using food grade hydrogen peroxide, but when I pull things from my own garden, where the only thing that's touched it is my own hands, and my hands are clean, I do not use food grade hydrogen peroxide at all on anything that I grow and pick myself. I just simply rinse it in water and clean it up from little bugs and dirt. Though a few bugs or protein, a little bit of dirt never hurt anybody, but nonetheless, nobody in this house really likes dirt or bugs. And bugs are not kosher, just FYI, anybody who, you know, who just is curious about that. One of the reasons, I mean, vegetables go both ways in the kosher, either meat or cheese, but you really have to be very, very careful when you clean your vegetables, because bugs are not considered kosher. It's kind of like eating pork or shellfish. So didn't know if you knew that or not, and I just recently learned it myself as I continue on my journey to be a better Jew, which I am not. So I'm just going to spin this out one more time. I guess this is Confessions of Nanny Bubby, right? Okay, so there we go. So the first thing we're going to do is take all of this. What is in here is romaine, some red kale, and some butter lettuce. So I'm going to dump all of this right into this bowl right here, and that's nice and high. And if that isn't enough, because I'm not going to make a side vegetable tonight for the swordfish that I'm making. Oh, thanks. I like these. These were all given to me by special people. We're also going to add some arugula to this salad. So this is very easy salad. Anybody can pull together this lettuce, but what makes this really unique and awesome as a salad is the vinaigrette. And so it's a dill vinaigrette. I'm going to figure out how to open this up here. There we go. Okay. Go. So I was babysitting, there we go. That's a nice full salad, right? About 2 cups in there. So in there with, look at how beautiful that is. Absolutely stunning. I love the green. And believe it or not, even though this is just supposed to be completely a green salad, I just think that these orange tomatoes on top of here just are stunning on top of the green. So I'm going to give these a quick rinse. And we'll use the tomato slicer to slice these in at some point here. And we'll let those drain for just a minute. And I'm going to set this aside right now, and I will make the vinaigrette. And the vinaigrette is as easy as it sounds. So I'll cover that, and I will put it back into the refrigerator until dinner time, and until I get the swordfish ready. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to, I'm going to take the garlic and I'm going to mince up the garlic. I actually didn't read the directions on this, but I'm pretty sure I can make them up as I go. So I love this garlic crusher rather than mincing the garlic. Take it out like this, and then what happens is I take this, see the red there, if you can see that, and I put that back through the back side, and that just takes out the skin right there like that. And I think I'm going to save the skin as more or less crushed garlic, and just mince it up and put it and throw it back in. Just see if I can do this. I hate putting garlic on the board without parchment paper, but I don't want to run off camera. So I'm just going to put all that, there we go, and into this we go. There we go. Now let's do this. Lindsay, are you watching by yourself or are you watching with friends? Just curious, was just thinking about that. Okay, so we've got the garlic in here, and we're going to add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar because it is my go-to for everything. Hey, Eva. Eva Kallick is here, and she would be very interested to know that Lindsay Bernay is here. So I'm going to double this recipe because we actually like a lot of dressing on our salad. So it calls for 1 tablespoon. I'm going to add 2. And the original recipe calls for rice vinegar, but I am not crazy about rice vinegar, nor do I actually ever really have it. Hey Wendy, how are you? Nice to see you. Thank you so much for inviting us up to your suite last night. We had such a good time talking with you and talking with Ken, and Jason and Tom were all about the football game. So that was just really super. So thank you so much. I mean, I called my sister this morning and I said, oh my God, that was such a terrible game, and I've decided I hate the Raiders. Is that a bad thing? Like, am I allowed to hate the team that comes from my hometown? But I'm just kind of so annoyed with them. Okay, so we've got rice vinegar, the garlic. We're gonna let it sort of macerate just a little bit and get all the garlicky acid out in this vinegar. Just kind of macerating it around, and it'll sit in this for a while, and then all the garlic will lose that acid. So this will be great. Hey Lisa, Lisa's here. Everybody's joining in. I have missed all of you. So again, I am, well, I can't remember what I was gonna say. I think I was gonna tell you what I'm making. I'm making a green salad with a dill vinaigrette, and I am doubling the recipe. So 3 tablespoons of the olive oil, but I'm going to put in 6. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, so easy, 5, and 6. Okay, there. And by the way, this, you know, if we don't use it all, if I find that it's too wet and I don't put it all in, just cover it and put it in the refrigerator. And it'll keep for tomorrow night's salad. So, and in fact, it would make a great marinade over chicken or something like that. So let's spin that up, olive oil, and we're gonna put in some soy sauce, or in my case, coconut aminos, about, let's see, ½ teaspoon. I think I'll put, there we go. It's not coming out so quickly. I love that Lindsay is a visitor in her own hometown. I used to love it when I'd come home from college, and I actually, for the first time in my life, was actually a visitor in my own hometown, which I loved. This is a fun town to party in, which I never knew growing up here, because A, I wasn't old enough to actually party, and B, I had no interest in it, right? I had no interest in playing a slot machine. It was like, how boring is that? Why would anybody want to do it? And, you know, or playing whatever else. I just never did. Okay, so now, I believe this calls for, I was pretty sure that this called for Dijon mustard, but I do not see it. So, here we go. Also, we're gonna add, it calls for a pinch of sugar. Hello, Lynette, nice to see you. I'm going to add a little squirt of the stevia, because I am anti-sugar for the best that I can, except for when I bake, because there's a time to feast and a time to fast. And Karen Roman is here. Love the new watch strap. Well, it's not new. This is what came with it. I just always wear the orange one. Hey, Mark Goldberg is here. Everybody is loving the jewelry today, but I just want to say, if you love jewelry and you love diamonds, reach out to Karen Groveman, whose husband sells only the greatest diamonds on the entire planet at the best prices you'll ever find. And if you want to sell a house in the Scottsdale, Phoenix area, call Karen for that. So let's just promote everybody we love here today, right guys? All right. So, and if you want to buy something fabulous for a special occasion, don't buy it. Just let Lindsay let you borrow one of hers. That's what she did for me. No, I'm kidding, Lindsay. I love to tell that story. Lindsay's tired of hearing the story, but I tell it to everybody. I told it to somebody who could not believe the other day that I would borrow a dress for a special occasion, and I laughed and I said, I never imagined I would borrow a dress for a special occasion either. But at the end of the day, it felt like I was wearing a baby bunting, and that I had just a cloth of warm love that was covering my body, which took a lot of anxiety out of the event for me. So there you go. I guess that's the end of talking about that event. It was 3 weeks ago. And Verica is here. Hey Verica, nice to see you. So what we're gonna do now, I just want to look at this and just look at what this says. Finish to the garlic, add the vinegar, olive oil, dill, and fish sauce. Okay, I did not use fish sauce. I used the coconut aminos. So I want to just tell you, whoa, almost lost that. Okay, so what a fabulous, it was a fabulous event. It was, but it was made even more fabulous because I was wrapped in love. That is what I tell everybody. I was absolutely wrapped in love, and I had the love of my 4 generations of my family in the room that night, and I had a baby bunting that covered my body and skin, and I felt nothing but love the entire night. So, okay, enough of that. So this recipe calls for parsley to go in on top of the arugula, and on top of the romaine, and on top of butter lettuce. And but I want to tell you, I saw this on Instagram, and I thought this was absolutely genius, and I actually had not had the chance to use it because it was just recently that I saw it. And so let me tell you what I saw this woman do. She took her parsley and any of her leafy herbs like dill, and she took them and she dumped them in water and cleaned them like this, you know, just dumping them in and out, and she brought them out, and they were, you know, limp because hey Heather, there she is. Oh my gosh, Heather, you are competing with Lindsay Bernay as the greatest salesman in the world. The two of you are unbelievable. And Tom Roberts is here. Tom Roberts is running for sheriff, so anybody in Las Vegas, research your sheriff's races. Tom Roberts is one of the candidates. Okay, so here's the parsley. So let me tell you what she did. Dunked it in and out, in and out, in and out, up, and she said, do not put this in a salad spinner. It's a waste of time. The stems really get in the way, and all you really need to do is this. And she went out back. I don't have to go out back right now because these are dried beautifully. And she took her arm and she went like this. And literally the parsley looked like this, completely dried. And I just went out to experiment before you all got here, and sure enough, look at this beautiful parsley. So, and I did the same with the dill. I did the exact same with the dill. Is I went out back. I mean, it could be snowing out there, but it's so dry, especially in Las Vegas. Like in humid climates, it probably doesn't work so well, but she happens to live in New Jersey. This, her name is Cooking with Shireen. You should look her up. She's so fun to watch. I love her. She's one of my favorites. And I did the same with the dill. And dried and beautiful. What do you think? Look at that. It looks like beautiful furry dill, doesn't it? Are you loving it? The herbs are the most beautiful cut. They really are. But could it be because of the way that I wash them? I don't know. But really, they're just furry and beautiful. So Judy, you should type a few things about the winter's retreat. We had such a great time. Judy started us off with a great conversation about making your menus and making your list, and how she makes a menu every year and she saves those menus. and pulls them out. So they're pulled out with the name and everything that she had on them. And it was so great to hear exactly, you know, what she did. And she's got them all the way back, I think she said to 2004. But she started actually making these menus in, I think, 1990s. There was something that happened in 1997. I don't remember what that was, Judy, but I'm pretty sure you saved these all the way back to 2004. And so they're, you know, they become family treasures. They become family treasures. And we had a long conversation in the winter's retreat about traditions and family heirlooms that are kept on the table from year after year that help you to remind you of people. 97, she has all of her menus from 97. Can you imagine? And it makes me want to have mine. But I guess starting in 2021 is not too late to start, right? So I see this parsley and everything maybe in the way. And what did you start in 2004, Judy? So I do want to show you, I ziplocked, or not ziplocked, but I food savored the cream corn that I made. So here it is, all nice and neat. All the air pumped right out of it. This is in a food saver bag. This is the famous Piero's cream corn. And for Thanksgiving, we'll defrost it, throw some Parmesan cheese on top of it, and put it in the oven. I wasn't planning on keeping it. I was going to just give it away to whoever wanted to eat it and then make it fresh on Thanksgiving. But everybody got into a great food saver conversation on Saturday, and I got inspired, and I thought, well, why not? Let's try it. So I went ahead and put it in here. There's much more than you think. I'll get Parmesan cheese and put it in under the broiler, and it's going to be great. So there's that. Okay, so here's the vinaigrette, and we are going to take the dill and just put it into the vinaigrette. It's kind of a lot of dill, but I did double the recipe, and in we go. There you go. Can you see that? Fantastic. I also want to thank Roseanne. Roseanne put all of the recipes in alphabetical order in an Excel sheet in Gather with Nanny Bubby. So if you're ever looking for a particular recipe, that she's made it so easy to find. I really appreciate all of that. Tomorrow or Wednesday, you want to start making your grocery list. So make sure that today and tomorrow you make your menu, and you can start making your grocery list Wednesday and Thursday. And I saw people in Whole Foods today buying brining stuff, just little things, all of your non-perishable stuff you can really start buying right now. So, gotta get a move on, right guys? All right, so I'm gonna take a lot of this parsley and just cut this up, just sort of trim out the little bush of it all. There we go. And I'm just gonna do a rough chop, as my garden says, a rough chop on the parsley, just to add some layers of flavor in this beautiful green salad. There we go, nice and rough. Take a look at this beautiful salad. So if you just joined us, I picked most of this salad right out of Nanny Bubby's garden, and we're going to be eating it tonight for the very first time. I planted it in September, and look at all this. Isn't this amazing? So I'm just going to cover it to keep it fresh. It's very dry now. I'm so happy. I'll cover it just to keep it fresh in the refrigerator, and right after I grill the swordfish and pull it off, I will toss this fabulous green salad. I'll take a picture. I'm going to put the orange, because I think they're so beautiful. I mean, just look at how beautiful up against the green this all looks. They were so sweet. And I'm so sorry to tell you that for whatever reason, the tomatoes in my garden that are harvesting now from the summer are lacking in the flavor that they had when I harvested them in the spring. And so I really have to talk to my farmer and find out Is it lacking in flavor because of the heat from the summer and what that does to the root of the plant? Or is the soil getting bad? Or, you know, there's so many factors to all of this. So these definitely came out of an amazing soil because they have amazing flavor. Okay. Yes, those greens are so gorgeous. And yes, tomorrow is Tuesday. And Judy Wood says she needs to get a food saver. I've been missing out and throwing away too much food. Yes. Lene wrote this morning in the Winners Retreat group that it's still on sale at Costco. So everybody go to Costco and get a food saver. Or if somebody knows the link to the Costco food saver that are on sale, just put it in Gather with Nanny Bubby. And that's it for me. I'm chewing my tomato. And I'm going to be making swordfish tonight. Swordfish is really simple. It is a marinade of lime juice, a little bit of honey, and jalapenos. We're going to cook the swordfish, and then we're going to baste it in that marinade. We're not going to put it in the marinade, but we're going to baste the marinade on it as we cook the swordfish, and we're going to have swordfish and a great green salad, of which I'll take pictures. That's it for me today. Remember, if you want to cook, not cook, but if you want to book, sounds like cook only with a B, if you would like to book a 30-minute free discovery call with Nanny Bubby about how I can help you grow your cooking confidence in a one-on-one basis, then click the link in the top of the chat here, just below where it says it's 3 p.m. and it's time for dinner with Nanny Bubby. And remember to make your menu today and tomorrow, and then tomorrow and Wednesday make your grocery list. From there, you can just sort of, I always set my table on a Sunday. I always joke with everybody, are you coming to Thanksgiving or not? Because I'm going to set my table on August 30th. It's a joke, but everybody laughs at me because they know I always think ahead for this particular holiday. As it turns out, this year we're going to be out of town, so I am not setting the table on Sunday. But if it were here, I would be doing it. That's it, everybody. Love you so much. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Go out and spread love like butter. Bye, everybody.